This is how I began to love my vagina. Now, it's sort of embarrassing because it's not politically correct. I mean, I know it should have happened in a bath with salts from the Dead Sea, Edna playing, me loving my woman self. I know the story. Vaginas are beautiful. Our self-hatred is the only internalized repression of the patriarchal culture. It isn't fair. Pussies unite! But we didn't grow up in that culture. Now, if we grew up in a culture where we were taught fat thighs were beautiful, we'd all be pounding down the milkshakes and the Krispy Kremes, lying on our backs, spending our days thigh expanding. But we didn't grow up in that culture. I hated my thighs, and I hated my vagina even more. I was one of those women who looked at it, and from the moment on, I wish I hadn't. I pitied anyone who had to go down there. In order to survive, I started pretending there was something else between my legs. I imagined furniture, cozy futons or light cotton comforters, leopard rugs, or pretty things, like silk handkerchiefs or quilted pot holders. I became so accustomed to this that I lost all memory of having a vagina. When I had sex with a man, I pictured inside a link-mink muffler or a Chinese bowl. Then I met Bob. Bob was the most ordinary man I have ever met. He was tall and thin and nondescript and wore tacky tan clothes. Bob didn't like spicy foods or listen to Prince. He had no interest in sexy lingerie. In the summer, he spent his time in the shade. He didn't share his inner feelings, he didn't have any problems, and he wasn't even an alcoholic. He wasn't very funny or smart or articulate or mysterious. He wasn't mean or unavailable. He wasn't self-involved or charismatic. He didn't drive fast. I didn't particularly like Bob. I would have missed him altogether if he hadn't picked up my loose change I dropped on the deli floor. As he handed me back my quarters and pennies and his hand accidentally touched mine, something happened. I went to bed with him. That's when the miracle occurred. Turned out Bob loved vaginas. He was a connoisseur. He loved the way they felt, the way they tasted, the way they smelled. But most importantly, he loved the way they looked. The first time we had sex, he told me he had to see me. I'm right here, I said. No, you, he said. I have to see you. Turn on the light, I said, thinking he was a weirdo freaking out in the dark. Then he says, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to see you. Right here, I waved. I'm right here. Then he began to undress me. What are you doing, Bob? I said. I need to see you, he replied. No need, just do it. I need to see what you look like. But Bob, have you seen a red leather couch before? Bob continued. He would not stop. I wanted to throw up and die. This is awfully intimate, I said. Can't you just do it? No, he said. It's who you are. I need to look. I held my breath. He looked and looked. He got breathy and his face changed. He didn't look ordinary anymore. He looked like a hungry beast. You are so beautiful, he said. You're elegant and deep and innocent and wild. You saw that? He said it like he read my palm. I saw that, he said, and more. Much, much more. He stayed looking for almost an hour, like he was staring at a map or observing the moon. He was so genuinely excited and so peaceful and euphoric. I began to get so wet and turned on. I began to see myself the way Bob saw me. I began to feel beautiful, like a delicious painting or a waterfall. Bob wasn't scared. He wasn't grossed out. I began to swell. I began to love my vagina. And Bob lost himself there. And I was him with me and my vagina. And we were gone. Naked.